Good morning, business leaders. It's a pleasure to have you that as we close the year on our usual Business Leaders Network morning calls, I want to share with you the content that the Lord has put on my heart, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope it blesses you till we meet, resume our business calls next year, 2024. So get to enjoy the video, and God bless you. But above all, go and implement all that you learn. Implement. Pose a question to you. What have you done ever since the start of the year? From the calls, from the business calls, give us those testimonies of what it has improved and impacted you, so that we can know how we can actually benefit you the more for 2024. So with that, blessings, and watch through in this video. Hello, my name is Jonan Kanonoho. I'm the Managing Director, Jonaki Holdings Limited, where we offer credit, we give money, we lend money. So we're going to serve you. You can always check us out at www.jonakiholdings.com. Yes, so I'm here again to share with you of what the Lord has put on my heart. And indeed, I know that it's going to grow you, it's going to benefit you. And don't hold it. If you learn 1 or 2, 3 things, go and actually share with someone. Go and help someone. And in a way, you'll grow them more. So our today's topic is the reward system, the 360 reward system for your company, for your business. And I believe in Pareto principle. You must be exposed to Pareto principle. There's usually 20% of the clients that give you 80% of the revenue. There's usually 20% of the staff that give you 80% of the results. There's usually 20% of the shareholders that give you 80% of growth. There's usually that small percentage that gives you the ultimate output, that sustains you in business, that sustains you in market. So it is important that you get to reward those categories of people. It is important that you get to reward them. That as we close the year, or as we progress in business, or as we move in business, it is important that we get to reward those people. There are those categories of people that give you huge reward, that give you huge return. Now I'll start on the side of the clientele. Now, for example, at Jonaki Holdings Limited, there's a small fraction of the clientele. That give us 80% of business, or 80% of the return. So we sat back and screened the clients. If you are serving 1,000 clients, you actually get to 20% of those clients. So 80% of 1,000 clients is probably 200 clients. Look at those clients, how much they are brought in for your business, and for how long they have supported you. You cannot, just leave them in passing without rewarding them. So what system do you use? Because what you reward tends to grow. What you reward tends to actually magnify. So that means if you reward those clients that give you much of the business, or 80% of the business, then they will get to refer several other clients. And I always share with my mentees that, feathers, birds of the same feather flock together. If you reward a person who is a good client, he tends to connect another good client. If you harness a client who is not as good, he will tend to bring another bad client. So in a way, it has helped us as Jonaki to phase out the bad clients by rewarding the good clients and making it hard for the bad clients to actually access more facility. So it is important that you highlight. So there are some of the rewards that you may think, they are not as very, very big that you may need to employ. Because when people look at the reward system, they think a lot of money. They think 10 million, they think probably 100 million. It can start as less as an umbrella. It can start as less as a diary. It can start as less as key holder. It can start as less as a message, a birthday message to a client. I've seen clients who have gotten so excited, they even send you a message because you've actually wished them a birthday, or the company has wished them a birthday. I've seen guys who have been, because some of these clients actually have it all. Some of these clients are MDs of other companies, other businesses. So you're not going to do something very, very huge and you think you're going to excite them. But just a small notion, a small bit, because some of these guys actually do not get to be given, because whoever comes to them because of their caliber, or probably their category, or probably their level of growth, everyone almost comes to them to take. But when you come out uniquely and reward them for what it is that they've done for you, they get so excited. And in the event that they get excited, they can give a contract, that can change your business, that can change your narrative, that can change your life, that can change your company narrative. I've seen it. Someone gets excited and gives a business you didn't even anticipate, or extends your contract to a period you didn't even anticipate. So how have you been rewarding your clients? Now is the time to think about them. Think of the items that you can afford, the level you're at. But you cannot afford to end the year and move to another year, end the year, close to another year, and you still cannot reward the clients that actually support your business. You cannot treat them in the same category. There's a reason as why when you move to the bank, some people come to withdraw and they're served a cup of cappuccino, but also some have to line up and brave a line for 2 hours. There's a reason as why there's platinum and gold, and there's a reason as why there's general happiness, general open hall, banking hall, where you go there to access the money with the rest of the people. There is a reason. That means that there's a particular category of clients that they have, and they cannot afford to play around with them because they give them exceptional business. So you cannot treat all your clients the same. So an assignment I'm giving you, go and look at your clientele. Look at 20% of your clientele that gives you 80% of the profit, of the income, of the return. Let's go to the staff. Now, it's not that all the staff supposed to perform at the same level. You cannot convince me that all your staff that you have in your company perform the same way. No, they don't. So look at the 20%, and you see even the other remaining percentage, it contributes. But look at the creme de la creme, the 20% of your staff that give you 80% of the results, and reward them. Because once you reward them, they get to attract the 80% to fall in the category of the 20%. And in a way, that's when you keep, filtering and screening, and before you know it, you have that high-end performing team. Now, you don't achieve that in just in microsecond. You don't achieve that in 1 week. You don't achieve that in 1 month. You work for it, and you intentionally reward it. You intentionally work towards it. So you may start to as less as, rewarding salary. Salary increment. It is important. But also there's something that goes beyond salary increment. Speak to those guys that are performing. There's some staff who tell you that, the word that you spoke to me changed my life. The word that you spoke to me changed my whole thinking around this company. There are people who have never spoken to very well. There are people who have never been, appraised or probably, given a compliment publicly. There are people who will tell you that, ever since I was born, I've never been complimented. And just a compliment alone can actually change their lives. So it is important that you actually look, assess of the 20%, how do they appreciate to be rewarded. There are some who actually can tell you openly that I can only appreciate to be rewarded financially. I can appreciate to be rewarded verbally by compliments. There are guys who are open, so you need even to ask. If you don't know how to reward them, you can even ask. So the final point, or the final category that is very sensitive and very important, are the owners of the businesses. Now, it's not that all the directors or owners or shareholders of the business contribute to the business the same way. There are some shareholders who exceptionally contribute to the business than others. Now, their contribution should not be taken for granted. If I'm a passive shareholder, I cannot get the same share as an active shareholder. Now, the active shareholder could be getting a salary, but there's something that can go beyond the salary. You could find that the business is running entirely because that guy is actually there. So beyond salary, they actually need to be rewarded independently. But it's until you think about it that you can actually get to implement it. Now, if you have a board, you may need to propose it to the board. But you need to have a system to reward the directors or the owners or the shareholders based on how much it is that they put in that business. Because if you do not, the person who has been putting in the most is going to get frustrated, and before you know it, they're going to say, after all, we get the same shares. After all, we get the same benefits. After all, we get the same, and yet me, I put in a lot. Now, for example, I brought in 100 clients this year, and this guy only brought in 20 clients. But at the end of the day, we are sharing 50-50 shares because we have 50-50 shares in the business. So you need to exceptionally reward, and you see, justify the reward. That's when your business is going to grow. That's when your business is going to register success. So it is important that you sit down to have a reward system, because what you tend to reward tends to magnify. tends to be supported and tends to grow. And before you know it, the business is growing. So I may pose a question to you: what reward system do you have in place, and how have you been implementing it? It is a cost on your end, but you have to brave the cost. You have to meet the cost, because growth calls for the uncomfortable. It calls for a cost, and you have to incur that cost. So I hope you learn, and above all, I hope you go and implement, because if you learn and implement, you'll have rewarded my time, but also you'll have benefited yourself and benefited your business and the guys that you get to support. So go out and implement. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment on our YouTube at Jonah Nkanwanaho, but also check us out at www.jonakiholding.com. See you in our next YouTube video, and God bless you. Grow that business, because it's not about you, but it's about the people that you employ and the community that you serve. Thank you for now, and blessings.